Star Trek, Section 31. What can I say about this?
You serious?
Maybe the show has something to say itself.
Why are you laughing?
Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
Okay, so I decided to punish myself, I don't know why, to watch Star Trek Section 31 because I'm a fan of Star Trek. Loved Star Trek, the original series, pretty much loved the Next Generation, and I was a big fan of DS9.
And all it cost was the life of one Romulan senator, one criminal, and the self-respect of one Starfleet officer.
And in DS9, in the episode Inquisition, we got to be introduced to Section 31. Mysterious, dark, very much separate from what we would normally see from Star Trek.
Let's just say I belong to another branch of Starfleet intelligence. Our official designation is Section 31. Never heard of it. We keep a low profile.
I loved it. It was a great idea. A lot of mystery. Very much full of intrigue, and you could see the reality of why did they exist. What was Section 31? They're the Black Ops. They're the Delta Force. They're the MI5. They're the guys in the background doing things that no one wants to talk about. It's kind of like the operative from Firefly.
I don't murder children. I do.
Fantastic. Love that. And I know in some of the later series they brought in Section 31. In particular, the Kurtzman Star Trek for Paramount, the most recent modern audience revision of Star Trek. And it sucks. And once you saw, all you had to see there is, under the Kurtzman era, look at the Klingons. And that would tell you enough out of Star Trek Discovery why you don't need to watch that. But I decided, I saw the trailers and I said, you know what, maybe. Section 31, Michelle Yeoh, it could be interesting. Could be worth the time. Of course, that was before I saw the trailer. Now, you can see here, the trailer from Paramount. Paramount has 1.6 million subscribers. And 2.4 million people, more than their subscriber base, decided to check out this trailer. I don't know how much of the trailer they decided to check out, but they did. And you can see there's 5,000 likes. 5,000 likes out of 2.4 million views. That's abysmal. And honestly, that's all you need to see about this show, because if you just go by that, 2.4 million people saw the trailer, 5,000 thought it was good. That's the audience for Star Trek, this Star Trek Section 31. I have to say that when I saw this, not just the trailer, but the series, the movie, I didn't know who this is made for. It's, if you like action, this is not for you. If you like Mission Impossible, this is not for you. If you like Star Trek, this is not for you. If you're part of the modern audience that Kurtzman Trek has been designed for, you might enjoy this. If you have a heavy case of ADHD, you might like this. And even then, we're probably stretching a bit, because there's really nothing in this series. There's really no... All of the characters, I literally just finished watching this whole thing, and I can't name... there's two people that I can definitely name of all the characters, all the people that were in the show. That's it. Two. And I think I might remember a third name. That's how memorable any of the characters are. The trailer tries its very best to make Michelle Yeoh feel intimidating. She's not. They tell you very often throughout the entire movie, she's intimidating. I feel intimidated by her. Don't you feel intimidated by her? No, I don't. She's also supposed to be the sympathetic protagonist of the show. She's not. The whole thing starts off. Matter of fact, let me show you something. So, the first warning sign is that as the show starts, we get this rainbow trail with this cartoonish figurine across the screen. Makes the Star Trek symbol. And you would think it's something out of Star Trek Lower Decks. Yet another Kurtzman era failed idea. And it's very cartoonish. Not sci-fi at all. But it's got a rainbow. So, I mean, it's virtue signaling hard. And that's your first warning. You're probably not going to like this. Within the first, 30 seconds of the show, we get this quote. And it pops up on screen. Fate, who makes the sword, does the forging in advance. What the hell does that mean? This is the attempt by the Kurtzman Trek team to try and I don't even know what they're going for. I don't know what kind of feel, it's supposed to be, ooh, isn't that ominous? No, it doesn't make any sense. Fate, who makes the sword, does the forging in advance. It doesn't convey anything. That's really nonsensical. It's basically a nothing sentence. It's not ominous. It's not prophetic. And it really isn't conveyed in the show you're about to see. So it doesn't set you up for the mood. It doesn't make you feel like you're in that universe. It's very off-putting, and it doesn't work at all. This is the first shot, first scene, first image of the movie itself. And you can tell instantly this was meant to be a TV show. This was meant to be a TV series. That vibe is clear from the very beginning all the way through. This wasn't supposed to be a movie, but I guess they were trying to save some money and decided to make it a movie instead of a series because it was going to fail no matter what they did. This was going to be a failure, and they knew it. And this is the easiest way, instead of putting it out as a series and have no one watch it and get week after week of people just telling everyone, why are you watching this? And just not even hate watching it. It's not even worth hate watching. And as a series, all of the YouTubers would be making content every week about how bad this was. So they figured, throw it out as a movie, one shot, get all the abuse out all at once. And it deserves all the abuse it's going to get. But this is the image. The Terran Empire. They're showing you a bunch of huts. Are you impressed? How ominous. Now, for someone who hasn't seen Kurtzman Trek, didn't watch any of the Picard because it had no appeal to me. I did not see Star Trek Discovery because I'm not into Space Jesus. What's her name? Mikey. Whatever her name is. She's the Space Jesus of Star Trek Discovery. Huge virtue signaling show. I don't want to hear about people's feelings in a corridor in space. Just not interested. But this is supposed to be the mirror universe. Now, this is from the original series, Star Trek, mirror universe, with the, instead of the Federation, they have the Empire, the Terran Empire. Okay. And I have to say, just from this one opening image versus the original Star Trek from the 1960s with no budget whatsoever, I was more impressed with the original Star Trek than this. I had more of a feel for the power of the Empire from the original Star Trek series with virtually no effects at all. And it was more impressive, and I could get the feeling of how dangerous the Empire was from the original series more than this opening shot. And the entire opening scene leaves you with nothing. It all takes place, the first 7-8 minutes of the show, the movie, takes place right here. And you can tell this is an AI image. And it's not the best AI image ever. But this hut, I don't know whether it's on Earth. I don't know if it's on some foreign planet. I don't know where it is. All I know is it's this dusty Tatooine type of place. And it's vaguely indigenous, I guess, with these weird plants. So I'm thinking it's not Earth, but who knows where it is. And one family lives here. A mom, a dad, 2 kids. That's it. No other people, no civilization in sight. This is it. And this is supposed to endear us to Michelle Yeoh's character, Giorgio. And it doesn't work. Because, spoilers, here comes the spoiler, the entire family gets killed. Right here. By Giorgio. The one neat thing I thought about that was, unlike, most movies where it'd be an action scene, the villain is going to kill their family and they pull out a sword and they just kill everyone, or pull out a gun and shoot everyone, or a bomb blows up and everyone dies. No, she used poison. Mind you, that is traditionally the main way that women tend to kill people is by poison. So that's real world. Real world, most people commit murder, most women commit murder with poison. So in space, in this mirror universe, same thing. But it doesn't make any sense. And that's the problem. One, we're supposed to be empathizing with Giorgio, the Empress, leader of the Empire. This is her family. This is where they came from. So you're expecting, she grew up. Once you find out, she shows up and you see her join and hug her family. And you're thinking, okay, so she grew up in this hut and, she struggled and she became the Empress. Not quite. It doesn't make any sense. She's one of 18 people that came across the entire empire, and they all went through a trial. These 18 people, and the last 2 surviving had to go back and kill their family.
You serious?
That doesn't make any sense. This is your trial. This is how they pick the next person. Mind you, the person who's saying, "Oh, you're the new Empress," once her family's dead, all of a sudden the ship appears, and all these troops, which is copy-pasted, it's obviously CGI and it's copy-paste troops, very obvious. They're all standing there in front of her for whatever reason, doesn't make any sense. And they're like, "Oh, you're the Empress now." And you're just wondering to yourself, wait a minute, the process doesn't make any sense. Political intrigue, how did she get into a position to become Empress? Basically, anybody can become the Terran Emperor. All you have to do is be in the Empire, go to this event that happens, I don't know how often, and you can be one of 18 people, don't know how it's selected to 18 people, and if you make it through the trials, you're now the one in charge. That makes no sense.
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
And what? When did these trials happen? Was the old emperor, did they die? Were they assassinated? Why is there no one else in line? You mean to tell me that in all the political intrigue, the backstabbing that the mirror universe has, nobody else was set up, and there was no chief of state or something like that that wasn't in line to take over, that have all the political connections? No, some kid from a hut in the middle of a desert in a planet, some backwater planet, can suddenly take over the entire empire, even though there's this entire operation, the entire administration of the empire is going on, with all the political intrigue and backstabbing and people in power, and this kid from nowhere gets to become Empress?
She's a powerful leader. Yes.
It makes no sense. You're not supposed to think about that. You're supposed to empathize. Oh, she killed her own family. How horrible. How evil that she's so oppressed that she had to kill her own family by her own choice. No one put a gun to her head. No one made her do this. And in fact, her lover doesn't kill he's in competition. Her lover is in competition with her to become the emperor. And he had the same choice, kill his family. He didn't. He refused to kill his family, so the empire killed his entire village. He at least had a village that he came from. Again, people from nowhere have no idea. Backwater minor figures suddenly become the leader of the entire empire, galactic empire. Makes no sense. But that just reinforces she had a choice. She could have not killed her family, but she did. So I'm supposed to have empathy. I'm supposed to be looking at this character going, wow, I'm really into this character. This character is so impressive. I feel for this character. No, I don't. She's evil.
I'm a monster. What I do is evil. I have no illusions about it, but it must be done.
Point blank, evil. Kills her family and then turns on her lover, who she made a deal with, and reneges on the deal, rejects his love, and takes power. This is not a sympathetic character. I don't like her. I don't like this universe. This is not the mirror universe of Star Trek. It just not. And then we go from that opening scene with this, where we're supposed to get this empathy, and we don't. And then we cut to Mission Impossible. Because that's one of the things that this show is trying to emulate. Mission Impossible. And we get this Mission Impossible, this is your mission if you choose to accept it kind of intro. Except it's very poorly done. Very poorly done. And we find out that Georgiou is our main character, and we found out where they are, and we're going to go get her. Because we need her for this mission that goes on. And she gets to meet this team of misfits. It's kind of like the Mission Impossible 1, when they thought that Ethan was a mole, and he's meeting with his superior, and the entire restaurant they're in, there's a Mission Impossible team in the restaurant, and Ethan identifies each and every one of them. Yeah, they copied that exact idea. We're at a nightclub as we see Georgiou walking through in this ugly dress, and she's walking through, and we see specific scenes of each and every one of the Section 31 team. And they're a bunch of goofballs. I mean, the one that struck out to me, and I caught it instantly. Obviously there's the guy in a big mech suit. When did Star Trek have people in mech suits? When did that become a thing? I mean, what is it? They're trying to bring in, I don't know, 40K? A guy in a big mech suit? Halo? Is that what they were copying? Did it very badly if that's what they were going after. Not convincing. Next person, we see a Vulcan, or what looks like a Vulcan, except he's laughing his ass off. That's not a Vulcan. It's very obviously something is wrong. He is outrageously laughing as hard as he possibly can. I mean, overacting way over the top, laughing. So we instantly know something is very wrong. Either he is damaged beyond belief, or this isn't a Vulcan. Very obvious. And of course, then we get a black guy who's, just weird eyes. And we know instantly, these guys are all part of this Section 31 team. It's obvious that these are main characters in the storyline. And then we get Rico Suave, who's the black captain of this Section 31 team, as we find out. And he's supposed to be some kind of undercover, I'm a trader, I trade illegal drugs. And instantly you're like, no, I'm not buying it. It makes no sense. So, Georgiou, the Empress, the bad guy, a bona fide genocidal bad guy who's eating eyeballs to reinforce the idea she's just evil and bad and supposed to be intimidating. She's eating eyeballs. Doesn't work. The scene doesn't make you feel intimidated, but that's the whole idea. And she invites this guy over because he's supposed to be some black market drug dealer. And we find out very quickly she knew that there's the Section 31 team in the bar because they stood out like sore thumbs. And they find out, Section 31's trying to get her back with them. She apparently had been working with them in the past and then tried to disappear, but they always knew where she was, and they decided to call on her to do this mission. Okay. I'm skipping forward a bit, and then we find out what the mission is and what the plan that Section 31 had is. And it's stupid. I mean, it is mind-bogglingly stupid. There's like half a dozen different ways that the same team, as dysfunctional as each and every one of the members are, that they could easily have accomplished their goal a thousand different ways. But they're going about it in the most stupid, paint by numbers, junior high school kind of way. It's so simplistic and so stupid. Because they have to get some bioweapon. Again, this sounds like Mission Impossible 3. There's this bioweapon. Ooh. And it's super deadly, and we've got to get this bioweapon. It's the rabbit's foot. Essentially, it's Mission Impossible 3. Rabbit's foot. They're stealing ideas from a bunch of far better movies and genres. Stealing them outright. And they can't pull it off. And so, and she goes, and Georgiou goes, oh, I have a much better idea. No, she really doesn't have a better idea. And she comes up with a stupid, convoluted plan, and then it gets messed up. Because this other person shows up, and they interfere and try and steal the rabbit's foot, and she recognizes what the rabbit's foot is. Turns out it's a weapon she made in the mirror universe. It was an ultimate doomsday weapon, and she thought it was destroyed, and it isn't, and now it's in the Kurtzman Star Trek universe. Okay, I don't care.
Why are you laughing? Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
Literally, don't care. It's supposed to be very dramatic. It's supposed to be a dramatic reveal. Oh my God, you know what that thing is. What is that thing? You've got to call your whole team together. We've got to get this. You don't know how bad this is. You don't understand how dangerous this is. No one cares. Literally, no one cares. I was not motivated at all. Now, there was an arms dealer that had the rabbit's foot that she had to subdue to get the rabbit's foot. And that's when the third party, this other mirror universe individual, turns out to be her lover, shows up and takes this. He's masked, so you don't know what he looks like. Only one person. And he defeats her entire team of 6 people. Okay. And mind you, I'm skipping a bunch of the story here because it's that boring, that slow, and it doesn't matter. So, for some reason, they're on a space station with the arms dealer who has been defeated, but they lost the rabbit's foot. So they take that arms dealer in their Section 31 spaceship to some random planet. I don't know where it is. Doesn't really matter. It's somewhere in space. It's an empty, derelict planet. Apparently, they dump garbage there or near there. And this arms dealer decides to they interrogate him. Now you have to ask yourself, the first thing I asked as soon as I saw this, I saw them in their spaceship is above this planet, another desolate planet that no civilization apparently, maybe one outpost that's abandoned. That's it. Makes no sense. And so we see the ship in the skyline. We see the abandoned wasteland next to the abandoned radio tower. And we see the Section 31 team walking out of the outpost into the open desolation. Okay. Why? It makes no sense to me. I'm like, why'd you come here? There's no reason why you would have left the space station, which was Georgiou's base. You had no reason. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone into a cargo hold and beat the living hell out of this arms dealer and get all the information he has. And you didn't have to go anywhere. And you would have more resources and more capabilities to deal with the situation than staying in that space station. Because there's no reason not to stay in the space station. But instead, they went to this alien planet because somebody wanted to get paid for, or wanted to take a vacation somewhere. And so they had to go and make this backdrop and do this, do the filming in this location. Makes no sense. There's no reason for them to do that. It's never explained why they did that. And so again, they're walking on the planet, desolate area, and they decide, you know what, this is really bad, and let me explain. And Georgiou's like, you don't understand. This is a mass bioweapon. It's going to destroy an entire quadrant full of people. We can't allow this to exist. We can't allow this to be here. We got to destroy it. We got to recover it, something.
She's a powerful leader. Yes, yes.
And so they decide, okay, we'll beam back up to the ship. Why did you beam down? They literally, apparently, beamed down from their ship to this desolate planet just to tell us about the weapon so that they could then beam back to the ship to interrogate the arms dealer. Why did you leave? You could have said this on the spaceship. You could have said this on the space station that was the base for Georgiou. You didn't need to move. But they apparently said, well, we need more scenes. We need to make this feel like it's foreign, outer spacey, sci-fi kind of thing. So we need spaceships and planets, in the atmosphere. We need desolate landscapes because that'll feel like sci-fi. No, it didn't. And it makes no sense. There's no reason for any of that. Team gets betrayed. There's a mole inside there. Okay. Obviously, dumb. There's obviously in team, you've got dumb white guy. You've got hot woman who died, by the way. I skipped that, but because it was really inconsequential. But one of the cute woman of the team, she got killed early. I was really sad because I think the character's name was Mel. I like that one. She looked kind of interesting. She looks like the bald-headed alien in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Again, they're stealing from everything. All kinds of genres, all kinds of history. They're stealing all over the place. She looked like the V'ger human hybrid from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Had that kind of look to her. Very attractive. Got killed off in a stupid way. Made no sense whatsoever. Okay. So she's gone. You've got, and the rest of the crew is a musclehead white boy in a mech suit. Obviously, he gets killed. You've got a black guy who's some kind of shape changer. So we don't know if he's actually a black guy or not. Got weird eyes. But he's also ADHD, autistic, something's developmentally, there's a problem. He's got some kind of issue. He's not right. And because of that, he's supposed to be super smart, but he's super stupid and annoying. He does not come off as being super intelligent or so hyper intelligent that he can't socially communicate. So I'm thinking they're going with the autistic angle on him, that he's like space autistic, but it doesn't work. Does not work. And he's just an idiot and useless and really does nothing that I can remember throughout the entire movie. He's useless, does nothing. Then we have the fake Vulcan, which we find out is a fake Vulcan. It's actually some kind of nano creature. I guess they're trying to, again, they need some gimmick to make it seem spacey. But essentially, he's kind of like the aliens in the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles, the original series, the original manga comic book, where you had the aliens that lived inside suits that would look like a human. Yeah, they stole that idea. So you've got this really tiny alien that's running the suit that is a human. Also, it's similar to the idea in Men in Black. The little alien in the head of this suit that looks like a human being, but they're, what were they? They are Arkellians or something like that. Or Jillians, something like that. From Men in Black, the first movie. So a little tiny, but even smaller than that alien. And he's inside this mech suit, this robot that he runs around with, which is why he has another one on the spectrum. He's constantly having his emotions flip left and right and all over the place. I guess they think it would be funny to see a Vulcan who's got these hyper emotions all over the place, just spewing emotions and over the top everything that he does. Nothing is normal. It's just always all over the top, overreaction everywhere. I guess they thought, isn't that funny? No. The joke doesn't land ever. And that's all his character is all the time. Useless. He also winds up being the mole. Not shocking. Not shocking at all. And then we've got the Starfleet officer. Why would a Starfleet officer be connected to Section 31? Section 31 operates completely separate of Starfleet. They're the Black Ops. Starfleet barely even knows that Section 31 exists. Starfleet doesn't understand, as we found out in DS9, they barely understand the power that Section 31 has. They have no idea who's in Section 31. They have no idea what Section 31 does.
Section 31. Never heard of it. We keep a low profile.
There's no oversight on Section 31 at all. They are a rogue Black Ops team or organization within Starfleet. That's all anyone knows. And that's all you need to know. But in this series, no, that's not the case. And it makes no sense. They've got a Starfleet officer working directly, openly with the Section 31 team. That doesn't follow the lore. It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know why they're doing that. But they've got this one girl who starts off with short blue hair, and then she has long black hair. I don't understand how her hair changes heights like that. Yes, it's the future, but people's hair don't usually go from cropped pixie type cut to long shoulder length hair. Doesn't make sense. But she's supposed to be the, by the book Starfleet, even though she's not really quite by the book. Although we never see her do anything that isn't by the book. And we don't see her do anything of importance. She's just random girl in the background, but she's marginally smarter than the muscle head. She's marginally smarter and more focused than the black autist, and she's nowhere near. She's almost Vulcan in her non-emotions that she tends to have throughout the series. So she's better than most of the men in the entire show. Then we've got Black Boss, Black boss, bald head, as I remember. Bald head, and he's supposed to be the Khan. Noonien Singh Khan. That's what he's supposed to be. He's from the past of Earth at the same time that Khan from Wrath of Khan, and I'm talking about the original Wrath of Khan, not the remake with J.J. Abrams, which was crap, absolute crap. Yes, I like Benedict Cumberbatch, but no. We're talking about Ricardo Montalban and his version of Khan. Kind of. This black guy is kind of a mix between the two. By the way, I'm not mentioning their names. I don't remember them. Literally, it's now been a half hour since I saw the show. I don't remember any of their names. During the show, I didn't remember any of their names because they are non-characters. They are props. That's it. They're props. They're set dressing and props. They're only really there for exposition dumps and to get us to the next scene. They have no real importance at all. They do nothing that I can recall that actually matters, except for the mole. And even what he's doing is marginal at best. He has no real purpose or motivation or... Well, we find out his motivation is he wants to take over the galaxy. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm just trying to remember the show. Honestly, guys. It wasn't worth taking notes. I was just bored out of my mind. And so it turns out, the nanobot being the Men in Black character is trying to take over the Starfleet, trying to take over Starfleet because he's tired of the microaggression that he's very, very small and everyone else is big. And so he's constantly being offended by comments and sometimes attempts at jokes about his size versus other people's size and the fact that he's just, dysfunctional. That's his job. And so suddenly he comes up with this plot to take over Starfleet. I don't understand it. He wants to take over the Federation. It makes no sense. Comes out of nowhere. But this is why he's working with the bad guy from the mirror universe who wants to become the Emperor, which doesn't make sense. Because according to the way they set up the beginning of the show, they would need 18 people from all these backwater planets to compete against each other, and one of them would become the Emperor. Not this guy, his name is San, the lover of Michelle Yeoh, and we thought he was dead. He's not, which was kind of obvious. But he's now going to become Emperor. Who's the Emperor now? Michelle Yeoh is in our universe, not the mirror universe. Somebody's got to be running the Terran Empire.
I'm a monster. What I do is evil. I have no illusions about it, but it must be done.
Why are you laughing? Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
So if whoever's there, they're the Emperor or Empress now. Wouldn't he be trying to take them out? Wouldn't he be trying? No, they make it seem like there's just no one. Michelle Yeoh is still the Empress, apparently, even though she's not there. No one's running the Terran Empire, and he's going to fill the power vacuum. It makes no sense. And so he plans to take this bioweapon, this rabbit's foot doomsday weapon, and use that to destroy a quadrant of, the Alpha Quadrant, so that the mirror universe, the Terran Empire, can come in and strip mine all of the planets in the Alpha Quadrant because corporations are evil.
She's a powerful leader. Yes.
Another virtue signal in there. They've already destroyed their universe, so now they got to come to our universe to strip mine our resources because they're dying. They used up all their resources because corporations are bad. Okay. Makes no sense. This is stupid. Makes no sense. It's space. Makes no sense whatsoever. And that's the whole plot. And he has to confront Jiju, or Georgiou, whatever her name is, Michelle Yeoh. And he has to fight with her one-on-one. The rest of the team is useless. The ones that are still alive. And they're wind up in a garbage truck, a space garbage truck. And they're using their space garbage truck at one time. Part of the team, the autistic black guy, the virtue signal Starfleet woman, who's obviously the intelligent one. They're on a space garbage truck trying to catch up to and to try and take over a Section 31 armed spaceship. Makes no sense. I mean, the Section 31 or Mirror Universe, that ship has shields, it has weapons, it has better engines, you would think, than a garbage truck. But yet the garbage truck catches up to the ship somehow. Don't even know how they knew where he was at. They never had coordinates for where he was going to be. They didn't know where he was going to go, when he would be there. But somehow they catch up. The garbage truck catches up to this Mirror Universe spaceship somehow. They somehow put tractor beams on it, and they start towing it. As he fires proton missiles on the garbage truck, which loses its shields, but yet doesn't blow up. A garbage truck is taking on proton missiles that are meant to take out other warships like the Enterprise or one of the Klingon birds of prey. A garbage truck has armor and shielding equivalent to a bird of prey. Does that make sense to you? In fact, I've seen many Star Trek where you lose the shields and the next shot, you're dead. We see that all the time. Nope, the garbage truck is able to... A-OK. I don't understand it.
She's a powerful leader. Yes, yes.
Why are you laughing? Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
It makes no sense. Somehow, Michelle Yeoh and the black guy decide to beam over to the Mirror Universe ship with San, her lover, and they have a couple of fights. The fight scenes are meh. There's two, as I recall, two specific fight scenes. Both of them are overextended and shaky cam all over the place. Shaky cam all over. It is very hard to follow. It is not overly interesting. Michelle Yeoh, to give her credit, she's a martial arts actor. She pulls it off very well. She makes her scenes look credible, but they're not good. It's not well choreographed. It's not well designed as a fight. It doesn't make sense. The Black Khan, he's there with his, he's supposed to be augmented. They call him augments now. Instead of, I don't remember what they called Khan. He was genetically modified. We know that. And that's why Khan in the movies, Wrath of Khan, was very strong. He's stronger than other people. Genetic modification. This guy's basically the same thing. He's throwing around. He's in his fight. Really boring. Nothing of interest there. You knew he was going to win. He did. Barely. No one cares. No one cares. And so Michelle Yeoh fights her ex-lover who wants to become emperor. She kills him by accident, even though he was trying to kill her. Because she's like, but I love you. Now I realize that I love you. I had no emotion. This was supposed to be the emotional hook at the end in the climax. Oh my God, she's got to fight her lover, and he's fighting her to the death, and he's trying to take her power that she had but doesn't have anymore, or maybe she still does. Does not work. He dies, and he's dying in her arms, which is supposed to be so emotional. He's dying in her arms, and he realizes that he always needed her, and he loves her, and he had forgotten. Now he remembers how much he needed her and loved her always, and dies.
You serious?
Who cares? Who cares? Literally, you're trying to empathize with a genocidal mass murderer. That's Giorgio. This is supposed to be the good person. This is the heroic person we're following. She's a mass murderer who has tortured people and killed her own family in cold blood. This is how we started this movie, with her killing her family in cold blood so she could gain power. And then she betrayed her lover. This is the first things we know about this character, and we're supposed to empathize with her at the end because her lover, who she thought she had abused, she thought he was dead, and he winds up not being dead. And now he's dying, and now, oh my God, oh my heart, I feel so bad.
You're the problem. You're the fucking problem. You fucking Dr. White, onkin jamrag, onkin spunk bubble.
Fucking hoity-toity.
Hey, buddy,
fucking...
hey. Enough with the curse words, all right?
Kiss my sweaty balls, you fat fuck.
For her, no, I don't care. Do not care. Did not work. So now we've got this rabbit's foot bioweapon that's deadly enough to take out 1 billion planets. I think that's what they said in the show. It's 1 billion planets. It'll take out an entire quadrant. It has no failsafe. It's an ultimate doomsday weapon. Once it's triggered, it does not go off. By the way, she triggers it on purpose. Literally, Michelle Yeoh, for I don't know what damn reason. The thing is armed, but it can't, this doomsday rabbit's foot weapon, it's armed, but it can't go off without her DNA. She has to touch the weapon to make the weapon fire. It has like a 1 minute countdown and then explodes. And once the countdown starts, it cannot be stopped. So it's ready. It's loaded. The weapon is ready to go, which makes no sense.
Why are you laughing? Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
Her lover, who was trying to set this off on his own, can't do it. He doesn't have her. The only way it goes off is with her genetic material. He doesn't have her genetic material. He doesn't have her blood or a skin sample or anything else. He's got nothing. So somehow he's supposed to set off this weapon that he has no ability to set off. And it's keyed to her genetics. No one else in the universe can set this weapon off except her. It's a useless paperweight unless she touches it, and then it'll trigger, and then you can't stop it because it has no failsafe. This doesn't make sense. This is stupid. This is stupid. I mean, I'm thinking about it now because I'm doing the review, but I'm watching it going, that makes no sense. Now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, it makes no sense. Okay, so she picks up the weapon and arms the weapon and turns it on purpose. She didn't have to do this. No one else could have triggered it. She triggers it herself. The machine itself, the computer of the bomb, literally says, okay, I'm ready to go. And she touches it and it's like, I'm now, triggered. 60 seconds until we blow up. No one else, everyone else could touch it. She couldn't. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. So this weapon's going to go off, kill a quadrant, billions of planets. There's a portal that pops up conveniently to go to the mirror universe. So the only real question is she going to, this bomb that they cannot disarm, they've got less than a minute, and the choice is blow it up in the Alpha Quadrant, in the Star Trek Kurtzman Trek universe, or go into the mirror universe and set it off there. Those are the choices that we have, that we are aware of. It's either going to go off in the mirror universe or it's going to go off in Kurtzman Trek universe. One or the other, and potentially billions of people will die. Either way. So she's going to be even more genocidal than we're told her past was. She's going to add even more genocide. Okay, so she's evil. And she did this on purpose. So she and Black Guy, who's supposed to be a quasi love interest, it's kind of like a tertiary plot thread that they've got in there in the background that never really goes anywhere. They kind of are supposed to be flirting at some points, but there's no chemistry whatsoever. None. And so they decide to take the mirror universe spaceship that they have, battleship, and they decide to go into the portal, apparently to bring the weapon into the mirror universe, let it explode, and destroy the mirror universe, or the Terran Empire, destroy that. That's their apparent plan. Okay, that's an answer. But somehow, and I don't understand how, they blow up, the bomb boat goes off kind of in the middle of the transport. It's not clear. She's like, the ship's like right at the portal, and then it blows up. So I don't know if it's blowing up into the portal or the portal between two dimensions. I don't know if it's blowing up in the portal or on one side or the other side. I don't know if it's most of the blast is going to the mirror universe or in Kurtzman universe. Doesn't make sense. But the bomb goes off. And somehow, and it doesn't make sense, they're not dead. We see this big bright light, screen goes white, no one's dead. The ship isn't destroyed. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. Why wouldn't everyone be dead? If it went off on the Kurtzman side, which everyone, all the main characters that are still alive, autistic black guy, Black Khan, Starfleet officer, they're still alive. Okay. And they're in the Kurtzman universe, not the mirror universe. Okay. The portal is closing now. Somehow the bomb went off, and the only thing it seems to have done is close the intergalactic or transdimensional portal. But it didn't kill anyone. I don't know where they pulled. I didn't know it could do that. I didn't even know that was an option. No one in the entire show said that that was an option. No computer said that that was an option. No one guessed or said, oh, let's try this as an option. No one said that. As far as we know, the blast went off in both universes. That part of the blast went through the portal into the mirror universe, and the rest of it went into the Kurtzman universe, and everyone's dead. That's what you would think.
She's a powerful leader. Yes, yes.
Why are you laughing? Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
No. Somehow, no one's dead, and all it does is close the interdimensional portal forever, apparently, and closed it, and everyone lived. What? The show then goes back to Georgiou's hideout at a bar, the same bar we were at the beginning of the show. Go back to that. She's back in charge of her bar. She just left it for a while. Didn't mention who's running it. Who knows how it's running. She just left. Now she just came back. Everything's just the same as always. Nothing is different. She stands around with the remainder of the Section 31 team, kind of like, what was it, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. At the end of that, when Ethan Hunt is talking with the team and handing out their cell phones so that the whole team would be able to stay in touch going forward. Okay. And so they're having that kind of last round, and they're laughing with each other. And Georgiou's like, but I might kill all you. I'll work with you guys, but, I could kill you. It's supposed to be funny. It's not. Doesn't come off as funny. Doesn't come off as interesting. All the characters are still just as broken as they always were. None of them make sense. And they decide they get a message from Starfleet, Section 31, not clear. Somebody who's their boss.
Is Section 31. Never heard of it. We keep a low profile.
Don't know who it is. Not really clear. I don't know if it's Starfleet itself, which is continuing to work with Section 31, the Black Ops team that they deny exists, officially deny that it exists, has no connection to them whatsoever, but yet they're taking orders from them. Okay. Or it's the Section 31 leadership, which we didn't even know Section 31 has a leadership. That's never been alluded to. Maybe it was something that came up in Kurtzman Trek. I didn't see it. Maybe it happened in Star Trek Enterprise. I didn't see that either. So maybe there's a leadership that I'm unfamiliar with. But according to DS9, we have no idea the leadership or the operations of Section 31. But now, apparently, there's some leadership structure, some big boss of Section 31, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Why? I don't know. She needed another paycheck after Borderlands? I guess. But it's a cameo, and they picked her, and she's the boss, and she's like, hey, I've got I don't know if I can trust you guys, but we're going to go for it anyway, and I've got a mission for you. She left out, if you choose to accept it, which straight out of Mission Impossible. But here's the thing. They get this message. It's in a hologram. They're in the middle of a bar. Literally, we saw the scene. They showed us that they're standing in the middle of a bar. And as they pull out of the scene after Jamie Lee Curtis says, I've got a mission for you guys. And as she's going on to explain it with her hologram, talking to them, regular volume, you pull back and you see other beings right around them, surrounding them. They can see the hologram. There's some of them standing close enough, literally very close to them, that they can hear what is being said. They can see the hologram. This is Section 31, a Black Ops shadow organization, and the boss is giving out missions in the middle of a bar that everyone is watching. Everyone has an idea. They're not hidden. They're not behind a security screen, or they don't even have a curtain. They're just in the middle of an open bar, and everyone can see it. And there are people standing right next to them that can listen in on the conversation. This makes no sense. Okay, I just realized that I've been doing this whole thing without my face on the screen. So I'll put up so when you see the static photo of me as I'm talking through this whole thing, now you'll understand why it was static. I didn't realize I didn't have my face on the screen. So in watching this is a lie. This trailer lied to you. By the way, this is the guy he just hit. Yeah, that's our black arms dealer who dies shortly thereafter. But there's Michelle Yeoh, and there's Black Bald Khan. Yay! Really unimpressive, useless. This is the character that I thought, She's cute. She was the most intelligent person out of the entire team. She died. Opening scene. Well, the second scene, not the opening scene, the second scene. She dies. Completely useless. Shame. Cute girl. Would have loved to see her in the series. Nope, dead. Look at this. See these fake outs? Oh, look at the action. Action. No, none of that's action. This is useless. This is horrible. This was supposed to save Paramount. This was supposed to save Star Trek. I think the most recent report came out that Paramount had an independent group go and do a study and say, what should we do with Star Trek going forward? And the team said, let it die. Put it in a box, bury it, come back in 5 to 10 years, and then see if anyone has interest. Because you're killing Star Trek. No, they've already killed Kurtzman Trek, Star Trek Discovery. They killed Trek already a while ago. Lower Decks and all that crap. They killed Star Trek. Now, they have the zombie corpse running around, and that's Section 31. Not only did they destroy Star Trek, they are ruining, and I'm talking about Kurtzman Trek, they're now ruining all the old Trek by association. It's really bad. Oh my God, stop. Paramount, stop, please. Make your grift off of the old stuff. You've got DS9, you've got Voyager, you've got Next Generation, you've got the original series. Just let everyone live off of that. Sell some toys based on the old beloved Star Trek. Sell your toys about that. Make video games about that. Let this modern audience Trek die. You have no audience. There is a reason why 2.4 million people said maybe I would give it a shot because they thought Section 31, that was cool on DS9. I think some people said, hey, that was interesting in Star Trek Enterprise. Let's give it a shot. Kind of like that. And they got 5,000 likes. 5,000. Hell, I've gotten 5,000 likes in some of my videos, and I'm nowhere in, I don't have 2 million people watching any of my videos. It's ridiculous. I have given this show more time and more attention than it deserves. Even if you have as much ADHD as the black changeling in this show, you still won't like this. I think IGN gave it a 2. I'm not even sure what they found of interest in this to give it a 2. The sets are horrible. The CGI is bad. The plot makes no sense whatsoever. There is no theme. Our hero is a genocidal murderer all the way through. Unrepentant genocidal murderer. There's nothing positive about this. It looks cheap. I mean, seriously, it looks cheap. God knows how many hundreds of millions they spent on this. It looks cheap. The CGI is bad. The audio is bad. The music does not connect. It does not make you feel Star Trek at all. It doesn't even seem sci-fi. It makes no sense. The acting is bad. The choreography is bad. The science in the science fiction is bad. Nothing works in this. I don't know where they got a 2. I don't know, what do you have to look at? I mean, Velma, that was a 1. Okay, so it's better than Velma. And not by a lot. But I mean, if that's what your competition is, Velma, you're in trouble. Let me put it a different way. Would I watch The Marvels over Section 31? Again, yes, I would watch The Marvels. Echo is about as good as this, except Echo is longer. So it's shorter than Echo. So you have less punishment, but it's just about as bad. Maybe a little worse. Or the other way I could say it.
Why are you laughing? Because I can't imagine things getting much worse.
The show said it itself. It's just not good. But that's what I was thinking about it. That's my reaction to Section 31. Do yourself a favor. Just don't watch it. Thank you for watching this review. But don't watch the show itself. It's not worth it. It's just not. All right, folks. You have a great day.